We are ready to call the regular City Council meeting to order on Monday, October 16th. We are in the City Council chambers. The first item of business is a roll call, please.
Okay, Councilmember Balk.
Here.
Mayor Bowman.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem LaRussa.
Here.
Councilmember Shaman.
Here.
And Councilmember Taylor.
Here.
Thank you. Our next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I would ask that you please stand if able and face our flag to say the pledge together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is our first public comment of the evening. An opportunity for anyone to come forward. Please provide us with your name and address and 3 to 5 minutes of your comments.
I'll do it at the beginning.
Okay.
I'm Suzanne Paul. I live at 23063 Farmington Road, Farmington, Michigan. I was here for Mayor Bowman's first time when she hit the gavel, and I am here now for the last time. And I've lived in Farmington for 72 years, so I've seen a lot of mayors come and go. But I personally think that my daughter, the mayor, has done an outstanding job. Congratulations.
Thanks, Mom. I love you.
You always like show and tell.
I do.
My name is Mike Sweeney, Madam Mayor, for the last time, members of council, city staff. I'm one of your commissioners on the Emergency Preparedness Commission. In October, we typically talk about power outages during emergencies. And usually that conversation is about diesel generators or gasoline generators and carbon monoxide and getting our city services and our businesses to get diesel generators, natural gas generators. And if you would like, I can do at least 30 minutes on generators.
3 to 5, Mr. Sweeney. 3 to 5.
So tonight I thought we'd talk about something else. What if you live in a zero lot line condo? What if you live in an apartment? What do you do then? You're not going to be firing up a generator in the garage of your condo. So instead, what we have here, with the new battery technologies, for your apartment, you can have a battery. This one happens to be about 14 pounds. It's a Bluetti Model 70, which means it carries 716 watts. Now, they market it as the 3-day camping out of your car battery. I have not tested that, but I do know that when you're out, when you tell your wife you're going deer hunting, and you have your pop-up by the side of the road, and you want to use your microwave oven or your coffee pot or that little refrigerator you brought home from college dormitory, this will handle that just fine. It also charges up your iPad, it charges up your cell phone. You never have to go to town. You don't. It also works very well in apartments for the same things we just talked about in camping. It works well in the apartments. They have a Series 35, which is only about an 8-pounder. They have a new one called their Series 80, which they say you can plug it in, plug a refrigerator into it, and it'll run a full-size refrigerator for 18 to 20 hours. Now, typically, when the power goes out, you've got one day to either the power comes back on or you're emptying your fridge. Well, if you have one of the Series 80 and the power goes out 12 hours into that power outage, you pull the fridge out, you plug it in there, it'll keep your refrigerator running for 20 hours. Now, it's cold again, you get another 24 hours after that. You bought yourself a little time. And again, if you're in an apartment, this can be a lifesaver. Now, people have asked, well, that seems awfully compact. Well, I got two things about that. It does weigh 14 pounds. It's like carrying around a bowling ball. And there is a box of rechargers, cords, heavy gauge extension cords, and other things that go with it. I didn't bring them. I'm afraid I'd drop them, lose them, forget them. This is going to go back home, slide back into my kit, and I'll be ready to go for the next time there's a power outage. And people frequently ask me, how much does it cost? And the truth is, my kids got together and gave this to me as a birthday present. And they told me it cost $400. And I am not going to fact check that. Although I think if you go on eBay, you'll find it for $250. But they said it was $400, so that's what it costs any time I'm asked. This one's mine. I recommend you all get one for yourself and for your mothers and fathers. As I never would want my mom or dad dragging a gasoline generator out of the garage and firing it up. And heaven forbid they would go out there to refill that gasoline tank. You got a hot carburetor right there and 2.5 gallons of gasoline. You'd have Director Johansson there with 30 of his friends very quickly, but I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend one of these or apartment living. Are there any questions or comments?
As always, thank you, Mr. Sweeney.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Very informative.
And watch, one-handed.
I can tell you're a bowler. Additional public comment before we close? Thank you. Seeing none, we will move on to item 4, which is approval of items on the consent agenda. I would like to make just one comment that I have had a conversation with Clerk Bachman regarding 2 names that will be corrected in the meeting minutes, spellings of names. Other than that, there were no additional informational changes to be made to the minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. Motion made and supported. All in favor? Aye. Fantastic. Now we are up to item 5, which is approval of the regular agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you, Mr. Russo. Support from Ms. Balk. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have an agenda. Item 6A is adopt a resolution amending the social district, the syndicate, agreement to extend the hours of operation on New Year's Eve. Mr. Murphy, is this from you, or who will be presenting?
I guess I can. It's just something that we do every year. It's not a big deal. We're just asking for it to go along with the ball drop, right?
So this is, yeah, it's a little different. I'm sorry, Melissa, but we're extending the hours till 2 a.m. on New Year's Eve to ensure that people have an opportunity to participate in attending the ball drop and still go back to the establishments that they were in.
And isn't that celebrating the beginning of the bicentennial?
What
But
a
if we
segue.
want this to be ongoing because we now, thank you, Chris, I forgot. We now have the ball drop every year, so we wanted to change. Currently, the syndicate is till midnight on weekends, and this is the first year New Year's Eve falls on a Sunday. And we're like, oh. So I worked with the attorney, Beth, and she said 2 a.m. would be a little wiser than cutting it off at midnight.
Also had an opportunity to speak with Director Johansson, get his input, and unless you have anything additional to state, there were no issues or concerns from public safety regarding the extension, and this, again, would be annual and continual. Comments or questions from council?
Madam Mayor, I move to approve a resolution amending the Farmington Social District Commons Area Management and Maintenance Plan so that the social district shall remain open until 2 a.m. between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day annually.
Support.
Thank you, Ms. Balk. Support from Ms. Taylor. This is a roll call vote, please, for a resolution.
Okay, Bowman,
Yes.
LaRussa.
Yes.
Shaman.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
And Ball.
Yes.
Thank you very much. 6B, consideration to schedule a public hearing on November 20th, 2023 for public comment on the proposed program year 2024 Community Development Block Grant application.
So again, this is something that we do every year. This is just the next council meeting in November for us to have that public hearing. We always have it, no one shows, and it's pretty basic.
Questions or comments from council?
Madam Mayor, I'll move to schedule a public hearing on November 20, 2023 for public comment on the proposed program year 2024 Community Development Block Grant application.
Support.
Thank you, Mr. Schneeman. I did hear Mr. LaRussa first, only because he's closer, and a roll call vote is not required. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes unanimously. One of these days I'll get it right. 6C, consideration to adopt resolution approving 2024 city council meeting dates. Mr. Murphy.
Clerk
Oh,
Megan
I
is
will-
going to-
sorry, yes.
So this is our annual resolution to adopt the upcoming 2024 meeting dates. I have reviewed this with the city manager's office, and all of our dates met up, so before you is the recommendations.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move to adopt resolution to establish 2024 city council meeting dates.
Support.
Motion made by Ms. Bogg, supported by Mr. LaRussa. A roll call vote, please.
LaRussa,
Yes.
Shaman.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Falk.
Yes.
And Bowman.
Yes. Item 6D, consideration of agreement with Oakland County Equalization Division Assistance for Real and Personal Property Assessment Administration Services.
So this is our contract with equalization through the Oakland County to provide our services. So it's gone up, I think it's 4% per year. This is a 3-year contract starting 23, 24. I'm sorry, it's a 2-year contract. We have what it was in 22, 23, which was $18.76 per real parcel property, and personal property was $13.72. That's going up 4%, and then another 4% in 24, 25. They've been doing this for, I don't know, forever, I guess. No, not forever. John Saylor was here
Right.
before that.
Yeah,
So it was probably 10, 12 years.
probably 15 years, yeah, 12 at
They
least.
do an excellent job, and we're happy to have them. So I would recommend that you approve.
Mr. Schultz?
It's a bit of, through the mayor, a bit of an updated agreement that the county did. They just went through and basically updated for all the communities they represent. We were given a chance to review it before it was finalized, so as far as we're concerned, it's about as good as we can get from the county.
Questions from council? Yes, Mr. Russo.
Yeah, I would say, I support, they do a good job. I support the agreement. I would say, looking at the financials, though, the salary range for city assessors in Michigan is between 55.9 and 75.8, and this agreement will exceed that for every single year that we enact it. So I would say, by the end of this term, I'd like to see a cost benefit or a make-buy to see if it makes sense to have the position back in the city as opposed to paying more for an external service, because I realize it's probably late in the game to try to recruit for that now. We probably need to do this, but I would like to see an analysis in the future. Or if there's an out, is there a way for us to exit early if we,
Through the mayor, not an early out, but I will say, I think it would take you all of that to find an assessor. The issue is the number or the lack of level 4 assessors in the state of Michigan.
Okay.
Everybody has trouble finding them,
okay.
which is why the county has so much business for this
Sounds like a
particular service.
pre-retirement gig.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've told my
Noted.
kid. I've told my kid, hey, you might want to think about this.
It's your retirement.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Additional comments? Is there a motion?
Move to approve agreement with Oakland County for Equalization Division Assistance for Real and Personal Property Assessment Administration Services.
Support.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Support from Ms. Balk, and a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Shaman.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Falk.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
LaRussa.
Yes.
Thank you. 6E, change order number 7 and construction estimate number 7 for the sidewalk improvement program. Welcome, Mr. Leach. One moment, don't start speaking yet. And now.
This basically just closes out the sidewalk program for this year. And then the change order addresses a crosswalk that was added on Shiawassee in front of the high school.
Comments or questions from council? Yes.
The work's already done, right? The crosswalk's already installed. It's already complete.
Yes, and signs are up.
I've even used it,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Oh, good.
Or I wouldn't be here.
Nice. Thank you.
Just a request for payment, council. Are there any questions or comments?
A move to approve payment to Luigi Ferdinandi and Son Cement Company, change order number 7 and construction estimate number 7 in the amount of $25,841 for the Farmington Sidewalk Improvement Program.
Support.
Thank you, Mr. Shaman. I did hear Ms. Taylor that first. And a roll call vote for payment, please.
Okay, Taylor.
Yes.
Bulk.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes?
LaRussa.
Yes.
And Shaman.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 6F, consideration to amend fiscal year 2023-24 budget amendment number 3.
So because we did the crossing at the school, we need to adjust that budget by $10,500, which would be coming out of our major streets.
Questions, comments? Is there a motion?
Move to adopt budget amendment resolution number 3, amending fiscal year 2023-24 budget.
Support.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Support from Ms. Balk. Roll call for budget, please.
Bulk.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
LaRussa.
Yes.
Shaman.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 6G is consideration to amend fiscal year 23-24 budget amendment number 4.
So this is for $49,000, which would be coming out of the general fund balance, and this is for the bicentennial, which you approved at your last council meeting.
Thank you. Any questions from council? This was previously discussed and agreed upon. We just need to make it official.
Madam Mayor, I'll move to adopt budget amendment resolution number 4, amending the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget.
Support.
Thank you, Ms. LaRussa. Support from Ms. Taylor. Roll call, please.
Bowman.
Yes.
LaRussa.
Yes.
Shaman.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
And Bulk.
Yes.
We move on to other business.
Do you have something?
I'm ready.
Okay,
If
so,
you say special meeting, I'm walking out.
see ya. So I would like the council to entertain the idea of having a special meeting, which would be not for you. This would be the organizational meeting that we normally have, but we can't have it, we don't think, until at least Tuesday, November 14th. And I would ask council to be on the alert that we might have to have it on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when the county certifies the election. Tom can explain it much more eloquently than I why we have to do this.
Megan obviously could do it even better than me, but generally it relates to the fact that we now have a longer period of time to wait for the military and overseas ballots. So there's now a 6-day period after election night where where you're still receiving those. The county won't act until at least Tuesday morning. Hopefully they'll have everything ready to go by Tuesday morning when that period ends, and the 14th will work as a date for you to actually have your organizational meeting, pick your mayor and mayor pro tem, because your terms normally would end, the people who are leaving the council or up for election, noon on the Monday. That, the state election, it won't be done by then. So everybody gets a bit of a longer term until the next night, probably. So we're looking for the 14th. If we have to amend it because the county has not given us the blessing, we'll let you know. So if we could set the meeting for the 14th and cancel it if need be, that'd be the best route, I think.
And we'll call them first thing in the morning that Tuesday to see, because the Monday is the 6th day. So we're hoping maybe they'll get a jump start and have them certified, the election results certified. So we've discussed this with Oakland County as well, so we can't.
We are not the only community.
Because your results are not certified yet, if that makes sense.
Everybody's having to do this.
And because of proposal 2
Yeah.
that passed in November, this is part of that. So they extended the military ballots 6 days after.
Okay.
They have a 6-day grace period, so. New things.
Yes?
So Dave, remember that text I sent you asking if 20th was the organizational meeting?
That's, at that time, Steve, I did think it was.
Yeah, so I'm probably not going to be able to make the 14th.
And they may not be ready on the 14th. We just don't know.
I could do the 15th.
But
Yeah.
Do you want to just set it for the 15th?
everybody should be. I'm not on the council, but it seems like a full council is typical. So the 15th would work. You know, we're all dealing with the fallout of this amendment, so.
Great.
15th, council? Yes, Mr. Russo?
Are there any noticing issues if we find out that they're not done and then we say we have to move it? Like, does it have to move 2 days because we have our notice requirement, or just 18 hours? Okay, so as long as we catch it in the morning, we could move it to the next day.
Yes, as long as we have an 18-hour notice.
Okay.
So we can cancel it at any time.
Yeah.
However, to reschedule another meeting, we have to have that done within
Yep, okay.
18 hours prior.
Yep.
So, and that's, hopefully they're going to kind of keep track of how many military ballots we have out there, and then that way, maybe they can certify that faster. I don't know. This is all new this time, so we're the trial run this election.
Before you vote, just, I have another meeting at 7:30, so I don't know if you're looking at 6 o'clock or 7 PM, but 6 works better for me, but obviously not my call.
Yes?
I mean, I don't want to get too into the weeds here. I have a flight in on Tuesday, which is supposed to get in late afternoon. But I don't know if that's a really good idea.
Tuesday?
The next day, yeah.
So Wednesday is why.
I think Wednesday would be wiser for me anyway.
Can we do 6 on that Wednesday?
That's fine.
So that Tom can get to his?
Is the only agenda,
Yes, please.
is the only agenda item the organization of the council? That'd be the only action item for the evening, right?
Correct.
I mean, if we did, okay, so 6 o'clock would be
Probably
more than enough time.
appointments to.
Yeah, the committee appointments, yeah. That'd be more than enough time, then 6 o'clock is fine. On the 15th, which is the Wednesday. Yeah.
Yep.
So Wednesday, November 15th at 6 o'clock PM.
Does this require a motion? This is under other business? Or is it just a agreed upon?
I think there should be a motion to
Okay.
set the meeting, to amend the schedule to add that meeting.
Madam Mayor, I'll move to approve a special meeting for Wednesday evening, November the 15th at 6 PM.
Support.
Thank you, Mr. LaRussa. Support from Ms. Taylor. Does not require a roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Any other
No.
other
That's
business?
all I had. Thank you.
I do have one other business. Today, we received, not cashable, am I upright? From our state senator, as well as our state representative, allocated $1,750,000 that go to our Warner Mansion and for the purchase of a new fire truck. And I have spoken to Director Johannesson, and he assures me that we will be getting a new fire truck, not just new to us. So while we have not yet designated how this money will be spent, the council had an opportunity today to thank those representatives, along with a lot of historical fans and Warner Mansion fans and the Warnerettes, to assure them that the city will take this money and do what's best to ensure the longevity of the mansion, as well as ensure that we have the proper safety measures for our citizens. So I just wanted to take a moment and publicly thank our representatives and thank the council for showing their support today as well. And it is like a Publishers Clearinghouse check, which is kind of fun. It's the biggest check I've ever held, so thank you. That will conclude other business, which brings us to our second public comment for the evening. Seeing no interest, I will close our second public comment, which brings us to our city council comments. Mr. LaRussa.
I'm very glad that I get to go first for council comment because I wanted to be the first one to thank Mayor Bowman for her service to the city, for her years of service to the city, her leadership, her willingness to serve, and as somebody who She was one of the first people I reached out to when I was considering running, and she even then was full of, advice and energy about what it takes to be a good public servant. She's inspired me in so many ways and been a great coach and mentor, and I couldn't be more grateful for the chance to learn what it is to be a public servant from someone who cares so deeply about this community as Mayor Bowman. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, Joe. Means a lot, thank you.
No.
No one's allowed to make me cry, so Jonna, you're next.
I too just want to thank you. I realize that I have not been on council with you as long, but I am grateful that I can now call you colleague because we will continue our relationship at Go OCC. And so I know that you will bring the same just fervor that you have for our city. You do that at OCC, and I appreciate that. And I think that this transition, we're really lucky to have you here in the city. I'm glad to call you friend, and you've also been a great mentor, and I've learned so much in the last couple of years. And so I wish you well, but I'll see you at the brewery.
Yes. Thank you. Steve.
So it's been a real honor to serve alongside our mayor. She has done just a tremendous job through probably one of the most difficult times Farmington has seen, and frankly, our country and world has seen in our lifetimes. She handled it with aplomb, and I really marveled at, I obviously preceded her as mayor. She did a phenomenal job as mayor pro tem, but boy, when she stepped into the mayor role, she really shone. And as I said, I marveled at her management style, but her ability to connect with people. And, there's really, honestly, in my opinion, no bigger cheerleader and advocate for the city of Farmington than our mayor. So I know that you're not going anywhere. I'm going to cry. Gee whiz. I know you're not going anywhere, but you will be sorely missed in this role. So I want to echo my colleagues' comments. Thank you deeply for your years of service, for your commitment to the city in the past and current and moving forward.
I want to point out that if you look over there at the wall of mayors, Sarah is the 5th female mayor to have served the city of Farmington. And Farmington has a tradition of electing strong female leaders. And I'm proud to have served at a time when both Farmington and Farmington Hills were led by women. I've also, like Steve, called you Farmington's biggest cheerleader, and I hope you take that in the spirit that I mean it, because especially when the pandemic hit in your 4th month as mayor, that was exactly what Farmington needed. You didn't sign up to be mayor in the largest public health crises in decades, but that's what leaders do. You raise your hand, you step forward, and you roll with the punches with what life throws at you. And throughout the pandemic, you really kept the faith, letting everyone know, I'm here, giving a really positive attitude. We'll get out together on the other side of this. And we did. I don't think there's any question we came out stronger on the other side. So I think all of us here just want to leave the city a little bit better than it was when we first started, and you can definitely say that's the case.
Thank you.
And on a lighter note, Sarah, you set a Farmington first of your own, being the first mayor to appear at the farmer's market in costume wearing a strawberry outfit. So the real question here is, can our next mayor live up to this level of community spirit? Because those are some pretty big shoes to fill.
Well, thank you. Thank you all. Wow. I didn't want to mess this up, so I did write things down. I'm good hanging in there.
Oh, okay.
I'm hanging in there. Thank you so
Just
much.
checking.
You are a gentleman.
Came prepared.
So my comments are, so lately, friends and family have been asking if I feel a sense of relief knowing that my time on council is coming to a close. And I've been struggling with how to answer that, because the truth is, my time up here over the last 16 years, none of which has felt like an obligation. It's been a privilege to serve this community and to have the opportunity to have served this community. So if anything, what I feel is that I hope what I've done is enough. And I hope that the people, keep it handy. I hope the people that have entrusted me with the role got their votes worth. I'd also like to take a moment to thank my family for being my biggest cheerleaders and supporters. My mom provides my moral compass. My dad is my speechwriter. My son ensured that I never took myself too seriously. And John has always been my true north, even when I think north is always up. He knows. So it has been a pleasure to serve the city, and I thank you for the support, and I thank you for the honor it has been to serve as your mayor.
Here, here.
Now, somebody adjourn this so I can get a record for fastest meeting ever.
Move to adjourn.
Support.
Motion made and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Model of efficiency.
That's right, as always. I am not a crier. Somebody turn the camera off.